Here we go. It's our final first round matchup here at the Royals of the Ring tournament. What an exciting contest this one is shaping up to be, just based on the participants alone. Here comes our first of two.
Is a King of the Ring first round match. Making his way to the ring from Battle Creek, Michigan. Weighing in at 235 pounds.
Hate to break it to you, ring announcer, but the crowd beat you to the punch. He did the old fingers to the back there, the old thumbs to the back. Rob Van Dam, crowd chanted along. He beat you by about 5 seconds. Well, whether it was the crowd or the ring announcer announcing it, it's Mr. Monday Night, Rob Van Dam, Mr. Pay-Per-View, the whole show. There you have it. Rob Van Dam looking to make a serious splash here in Fantasy Warfare by not only becoming the king of Fantasy Warfare, but he has potential to put himself in line for an IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match with Kenny Omega if he is able to defeat Omega here in a non-title situation. A rare occasion in which a champion holding a title here in Fantasy Warfare will not be made to defend their championship, as Kenny Omega is entering the Royals of the Ring tournament, so his title is not on the line.
Manitoba, Canada, weighing in at 227 pounds, the International Wrestling Grand Prix Heavyweight Champion, Kenny Omega.
That poor ring announcer, but also good for him instead of just saying IWGP International Wrestling Grand Prix. Good for him. I'm not trying to say that every single time, I'll tell you that much. Kenny Omega coming out here to Fantasy Warfare to do battle in the Royals of the Ring tournament. The last time we saw Kenny Omega, he was embroiled in a brawl with Roman Reigns that spilled out of the Hell in a Cell match between the Elite and the Bloodline. We've been told that every time these two guys have crossed paths in recent weeks, there's been words, there's been shoves. That brawl continued on and on and on. These guys have been fighting and brawling and fighting and brawling. It looks like we've been able to keep the peace here long enough for Kenny Omega to come into the ring for Royals of the Ring this week. But I've been told by Fantasy Warfare management that there has been a number of pull-aparts in recent weeks between Kenny Omega and Roman Reigns at simple things. Something as simple as arriving at the venue. Nobody's even got a camera in their hands. And these two guys are throwing punches, throwing words, whatever the case may be. But here this week, Kenny Omega will look to throw words and punches and everything else at Rob Van Dam to punch his ticket to the semifinal round of the Royals of the Ring tournament. The winner of this contest will meet Ravishing Rick Rude in the semifinals. Our semifinal round is taking shape. We've got Shinsuke Nakamura going up against Mankind. That will be our first semifinal matchup. And then our second semifinal matchup will see Ravishing Rick Rude take on the winner of this contest. Kenny Omega goes behind on Van Dam, catches him with a nice German suplex, brings him back and over the top. Omega's got the arm locked and stomps on the arm and the elbow of Van Dam. Very smart to go after any extremity of Rob Van Dam. I know we talk other times about which body parts are smarter on certain performers, but Rob Van Dam is so agile and flexible that he uses every part of his body to get by in this ring. So it's smart to really keep Van Dam grounded as much as you can throughout your action with him. And Kenny Omega is not only keeping Rob Van Dam grounded at the moment, but he's got him on the floor where Rob Van Dam is bound by a 10 count, same as Kenny Omega. But I'd say the pressure is more on Van Dam in this one because Kenny Omega can lose this one. He still walks away with his title. He's still the IWGP champion. He doesn't necessarily need the King's crown of Fantasy Warfare, but of course, in true collector form, Kenny Omega wants that crown, and he's entered this Fantasy Warfare tournament. Referee reaching a 6 count as Kenny Omega hits a nice vertical suplex on Van Dam right on the outside of the ring. Those protective mats only protect so much. Omega working his way around Van Dam as the referee reaches a count of 8. And now Van Dam back in the ring, sends Omega over the top rope, throws a shot, but he misses. Catches him with a shoulder to the stomach. Oh, sunset flip bomb out to the floor, takes Kenny Omega down. Standing moonsault by Rob Van Dam right across the torso, but as he goes to lift Omega back up to his feet, he catches a kick to the head. But now he is already quickly countered back on Kenny Omega. These guys moving so fast, you almost can't call it sometimes. You finish and call him. One thing, a vertical suplex, they've already moved on to a 450. Van Dam sitting on the top rope, waiting on Omega. Omega comes back in, swinging a punch. He misses that one, of course, we saw. I say of course, not that Omega's a bad puncher. I say of course because, again, these guys move so fast, you can barely spit out the commentary sometimes. Van Dam with a nice clothesline and a second one on Omega. Omega strikes, misses, and eats a foot to the mouth from Rob Van Dam. Referee out of position on that one. I think Van Dam lost a second on that. We should have seen a 3 count. But Kenny Omega able to kick out at the count of 2. Van Dam, rolling thunder. Up to the top rope. Could it be time for the 5-star? Yes, it is. 5-star frog splash into the cover. Referee is there. We get 2. And that's all we get as Omega kicks out right before the referee comes down with that count of 3. Omega escaping the clutches of the 5-star frog splash. Oh, nasty, nasty. Van Dam on the back of his head on that one. Omega smartly not going for the cover. Van Dam's legs would have been in the ropes. He had to drag him back out, although that's going to cost him some time. And Van Dam is able to kick out. It definitely cost him those few moments having to drag him away from the ropes. Kenny Omega usually with much better ring positioning. Oh, Jesus. Van Dam tried to run, and Omega nailed him with that knee. And oh, wow. Van Dam kicks out. Springboard moonsault on Van Dam. The crowd now chanting for these two to fight forever. And, well, I mean, I don't want them to fight forever, but, I mean, this is one hell of a contest. I don't think these fans know what they're signing up for when they say fight forever. You understand that this match will never end. You'll never go anywhere. If you want to watch them fight forever, you are committing to be there forever. Me personally, I mean, yeah, fight for a few more minutes if you like, but after that, you know, bring it home. Somebody beats somebody up so bad that we get a victory. Oh, nice double axe handle by Van Dam. He hits the ropes. Rolling thunder one more time on Kenny Omega. Down into the cover. Referee is there. We get 2. And Kenny Omega kicks out one more time. Van Dam, he's got some distance to cover there. 5-star frog splash. He covered it. Referee is there. We get 1, we get 2, and we get 3. Rob Van Dam defeats Kenny Omega, and he officially advances to the semi-final round of the Royals of the Ring tournament, where he will meet Ravishing Rick Rude coming up in just a few moments. Well, he'll get more than a few moments because our semi-final round will begin in just a few moments. We're going to take a brief break here at Royals of the Ring, but when we come back, the semi-final round begins. Don't you dare go anywhere. It's coming up next.